because without equipment, you cannot expect better results.
Okay, now I've said that, okay, we have feather shuttles. Okay, now we have been using Yonex shuttles, at times Jorex shuttles. We have been mixing up the shuttles, at times RSL shuttles, but then we do not know exactly the tournament shuttle which is going to be used in Uganda. And I've said they have different weights and speeds. So if we know a particular one that will be used, we'll have to try and get it. But then, unfortunately, the federation is unable to get exactly what we want. Though we were given the carpets, okay, it came from NOC. That's an advantage, not like before where we used to just use the floor or maybe wooden floor. Okay, now major thing is that shuttlecock and how we need to get used to it.
It is very expensive because looking at the amount that you need for the shuttle, shuttlecocks, as you rightly put it, is between 2,500 to 3,000 Kenya shillings. Yes. That's only enough for two players for a session for 1 hour. Yeah. Now, what happens, because you are looking at 16 players that for that every training session would cost between 60 to say 72,000 Kenya shillings. What happens in the event that this does not come to pass?
Okay, now what I normally do, when they get a little bit worn up, we don't throw them away. We keep them for maybe doing something called multi-shuttle. Now, when you want to do now a routine, we look the ones a little bit better. When we want the players to play a game, now we go back to the new shuttle, which they don't last for long. Maybe you can find that a game takes probably like around 3 to 5 shuttles, and it's done. Now, in that case, if it happens like that, the shuttle get finished very fast. So again, we are being forced now to maybe do some sort of something called maybe shadow badminton, or maybe shuttle runs, so that we don't finish up all the shuttles.
Very tough indeed, because by the end of the day, all this is needed. We'll be talking to coach about the amount of time needed to prepare a team well for such a tournament. But before that, Mercy, we are looking at a situation where focus definitely will be on the playing unit. The coach has done everything that is needed from him. Now the ball is in your court. How are you and the playing unit taking this? Are you all psyched, ready for the Uganda tournament, knowing that this is where you set the tone and the base for the next tournaments that are to come?
The fact that for the first time in a long time we have a big team that's been brought together to train together for Uganda International is quite motivating. Even the fact that training is quite organized and all of us get to train in the same venue for a couple of times a week is motivating. So from that we're able to build a bit of confidence and look forward to competing out there and giving it our best shot.
That's the ultimate goal for everyone in terms of going out there and having fun as you do this to qualify. For you as an individual, Mercy, the Olympics is always the ultimate goal for any athlete in whatever sport that they are taking part in. Is that your dream, to make it to the Olympics?
That's as you've said, is my ultimate dream, because it's going to be quite humbling and an honor to have anyone in badminton, hopefully me, represent Kenya as a country at the Olympics Games, because it's never happened so far. So to even hope for that is a big dream for me.
Well, history is there to be broken, and of course, we all know that dreams are there. Our very own Lupita Nyong'o says our dreams are valid. So your dreams are valid as well. Just go for it, and of course, wishing you all the best and the entire team to make history, to make it to the Olympics for the first time. Well, not very good results coming from Madrid in terms of the Madrid Sevens. It is, as we look at it at the moment, things not looking so good for the Kenya Lionesses. We'll be letting you know in a bit what the scores are, because there is still VAR in football, they call it so, but TMO in terms of rugby, just checking to find out if everything is set, if the try is given or not. Yes, it is 36 points for Russia, 0 for Kenya Lionesses. Not a good start, but it is the second half. Kenya 0, Russia 36. 5 minutes gone in the second half. We'll be letting you know how that pans on. Coach Odhiambo, we are looking at you taking a set of 18 players to Uganda, 14 experienced players, but you have 4 young upcoming players whom you're carrying with you. What has informed this? Because it's not normal for you for teams to spare some slots for young upcoming players. Is it a case of having this tournament now, but you also have an eye in the future?
Yes. Okay. Now, the young players, what you want them more to have is the experience. In any sport, there must always be some sort of experience. They can be very good players in here, but when they go out there, since they've never played outside, they'll be beaten very easily. So it is better for these 4 young players to go and see how it happens. But they're not bad players. They can be as well, they reach the finals, or maybe let's say to quarterfinals, to the worst. They are good players as well.
Good players they are, and of course, giving 4 giving 4 upcoming players, the opportunity to also go and test their might against experienced players is no mean achievement, and it's a very good thing. Mercy, we have 9 tournaments still left, but as the assistant captain, you know that your target is not far off from what you need. Are you looking at going full length of the 9 tournaments, or you want to get as much points as you can so as not to have pressure going towards the last events?
Well, for me, I'd say I'd hope to go for all the 9 tournaments, because of a couple of issues here and there on ground, and after a few discussions with my 2 coaches, what we've decided is that I should go for Uganda International and continue preparing and go into South Africa International. Then after that, we'll have a sit down and review which other tournaments I need to go for, or just stop at that.
Well, remember, you're watching KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner, and the program that you're watching is Game On, your weekly program that highlights and brings them here in studio so that you can get to understand what makes them tick and what their plans are in terms of whatever plans they have in terms of achieving or succeeding in their plans. Badminton Kenya has a mission to make it to Commonwealth Games 2022, and they know that that journey starts now. Whereas many are looking towards the Olympics, they have already started looking ahead around the Commonwealth Games as well. 9 tournaments that would give them the ultimate opportunity to make it through. Out of the 9, they need to make sure that they are amongst the top 14. Coach Odhiambo, what does Badminton Kenya do apart from just equipment to make sure that they are within the top 14 that guarantees them qualification to the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom?
Okay, now Badminton Kenya is really trying so hard to make sure that we get whatever we want. Although at times they are being under pressure, like maybe the way I said before, the issue of the shuttlecock, which are a bit more expensive. Another thing, okay, now they always want us to be on toes, especially the coaches. And every time after training session, the chairman, like all the officials, will come to the venue and ask if there's any other problem which we need them to help us with. And again, as well, the players. Okay, now, she's the vice captain, and Join Wanyoike is the captain. Unfortunately, he lost his grandfather this morning. He was supposed to be with us here. Now, for the players, if there is any issue, they have to go through their captains, then to be brought to us, of which will take it to the officials of Badminton Kenya. But the official of Badminton Kenya, they want results. By all means, players must perform. That's their issue.
Does that put pressure on you, Mercy? The way the coach is putting it is so calm. The officials want results. The players must perform. Does this put pressure on you and the playing unit? And even before you answer that, sincere condolence to Captain John Wanyuike and family, and wishing God's comfort during these try times, as we all know that you are also the captain of the team that's heading to Uganda. Sincere condolence. Mercy, does this put pressure on you and the playing unit as a team when you hear that all that the officials want is results?
Again, our sincere condolences to John and his family. But on to your question, as my coach here has put it, at the end of the day, Badminton Kenya wants results. And in as much as it's the coach's training and they're getting pressure from the federation to train us, the ball is in our hands. So once you step onto that court, they need results, and it has to be from us. So yes, we do feel a bit of pressure as a team, but thanks to the preparation, we're still up for it.
Well, being up for it and being up to the task will be the main important thing, and needs to be, part of the whole game plan. With COVID-19, John, you have a team of 18, 4 young upcoming, but 14 qualified. What was the selection process like? Was there a tournament? How did you select the 14 that will be heading to Uganda for this inaugural Uganda International Tournament that Kenya desperately needs to get off in style on in terms of getting points?
Okay, now we have been off for like over 1 year. Our last tournament was in Mombasa, Kenya International. And then after that, nothing has happened. So this year, I think it was last month.
Yes.
Last?
January into February.
We had a tournament for all the players. Thereby, we had to select the first 8 in every event. We have 5 events. We were called for to come and do the trials. Now, from then on, from the trials, now we had to choose the players. Though the juniors, they were unable to cope up with the seniors in the trials.
As critical, because such tournaments give you the opportunity to select the best in the country, and the fewer you get, the more slim chances you have in terms of having a wide range of tournaments or opportunities to watch your players. But here they are, the 18 that are there. What's the plan now effectively from tomorrow as we move forward? But before that, just to give an update of what's happened in Russia, sorry, not in Russia, but in Spain, Madrid, Spain. Kenya Lionesses first game against Russia. Russia beating Kenya Lionesses by 43 points to nothing. Kenya Lionesses losing that game by 43 points to nothing. At exactly 4:06 p.m. it will be Kenya Shujaa. That's the main team taking on Portugal. Then the ladies side bounce back into the pitch at exactly 4:28 p.m. where they'll be taking on United States of America. Wishing them all the best still in their next assignments. John, we were talking about the fewer you have. It's a bit technical and difficult for you to select the best in the country. What's the way forward after Uganda? Of course, you're leaving for Uganda next week. What's the plan possibly when you come back from Uganda in terms of getting so many other tournaments to assess and get to select Team Kenya? Not saying that the team selected is not the best, but you still have another opportunity to bring in more experienced players. But it is about points that the team is getting.
Okay, now the team is large. It can't be managed by one coach. I have 2 coaches who are supporting me. That is Alfred Mudhomi and Martin Kanyange. We are really working very well on the issue of players. Now, when you go to Uganda, okay, I'm sure players will perform, though we have put them under pressure, and we have been having a lot of crash program. When we come back, we'll have to have another tournament, internal tournament, then again we'll trials one more time, so that we can still get other players. We have to do trials again, because there are some good players, they never made it to come to play into the tournament. And we can't take you, even if you are a better player and didn't play in the tournament and didn't play in the trials. Now that will also be another issue, a big challenge, especially to the young players. Meaning that when they come back, they must train hard. They must try and cope up with the seniors. They have to.
Well, hold it there, John. Very interesting that you're talking about young players and players coming in to support. The question many are asking is, how are they getting support? Are they getting government support? Are they getting support from the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, which has been very supportive for different federations? We'll answer that when we come back from this short commercial break, just to get to understand how are they getting support and how prepared are they when it comes to leaving for Uganda for the Uganda International Tournament. Up next is a short commercial break. Welcome back. That was a short commercial break. Then, of course, like mentioned earlier on, we will be linking up with Dismas Otuke, who is in Naivasha, just to give us an update of what's happening around the Sports Personality of the Year awards. But that will be coming a little bit later. And also, as mentioned earlier on, our very own Kenya Lionesses are getting off to a bad start against Russia, losing by 43 points to nothing. But they have a redemption time at 4:28 p.m. when they take on USA. Then 4:06 Shujaa will be taking on Portugal. We'll be letting you know results when and as we get them from the Madrid Sevens. With us in studio is Badminton Kenya head coach to the national team, that's John Odhiambo, and of course Mercy Mwethya, who is the assistant captain to the team that's heading to Uganda for the Uganda International Tournament that's coming up. Before that, we were talking about how expensive it is in terms of getting and setting the team in the right mode to defend or even get the needed points for the same. National Olympic Committee has been very, very supportive for the different federations in the country in terms of helping uplift sports in the country. John, has the National Olympic Committee been part of this? Have they been supporting you in terms of getting this team ready for even the Uganda International Tournament?
Okay, now, yes, they have. The National Olympic Committee bought us the 4 carpets we have, which we're using in our training venue. Okay, now, much more about the other equipments, I don't know as much. Maybe now that one will go to the federation officials. But what I know, they bought us the carpets. And again, at times, they always send someone to come and see over what we are doing, especially the SNC coach. He calls me, then we arrange with him. He pops in at times. They are very keen on our progress. They are.
When we talk about the SNC coach, that strength and conditioning, Hakim is one man I don't want to be anywhere near, more so when it comes to getting the teams in the right frame. Mercy, have you been a victim of Kim, when he is out there in terms of getting players into the right conditioning for any major championship?
Occasionally, yes. Mr. Kimani has come in for especially my gym sessions. He watches, and just by him watching is enough to get you off your feet properly. So yes.
He's one man, credited with so much and always getting the players in the right tone, in the right condition for such championships. Now, Coach Odhiambo, what's the roadmap between now and when the team departs to Uganda, and for how long will they be in Uganda? And has the fixtures been drawn? Do you know who is getting to the court the first? And how is it like between now and when the team departs, and also the duration in Uganda?
Okay, now today morning we had our last training session. We are supposed to depart on Monday to Uganda. Once we reach there, maybe we can take a rest for like 2 hours, then we go on court for 2 hours. That might maybe probably be 4 to 6 in the evening. The draw has already been done, but I have not seen it yet. Though players have seen the draw. Okay, I always don't like seeing the draw until I meet my opponent on court. That's what I...
Any reason why?
Now, because now, when the player is on court and the opponent is there, normally the first 4 to 6 points is now how you can know how the opponent is playing. And I also have to prepare myself psychologically, when I see that person physically on court, not on paper. And I still always tell my players, do not go to the notice board to see who we are playing next. Meet that person on court. You can see a name, let's maybe two names can resemble. Number one, maybe in the world, and probably a very weak player. Now the player can be mistaken, oh, I'm meeting number one in the world. Now psychologically that player will have to go down. So I always encourage them, please don't go on the notice board to see who we are meeting. See that person on court. Then from there now you can move further.
Interesting indeed, because as opposed to other sports, the main interest always is to get to know your opponent. Then you do a lot of research and get to know the weakness and the strengths of that. Coach Odhiambo has his way of doing it. Mercy, what about you? Are you the kind of player who wants to know the opponents, or you always just get there and get to know who this is, then study them within the first 2-3 minutes, then you get to know how to handle them?
Well, sometimes even without wanting to really know, you're forced to actually know. So really depending on the tournament and the, how would I put it, the conditions maybe, it depends. There are times I'd love to really know who I'm playing. At times I just want to get onto court and just play.
Mercy, still with you, what are your targets as you go to Uganda as a player? Have you set yourself any targets that you want to achieve that by the end of the day when you come back you'd say that targets achieved, you are in the right direction in terms of achieving your dreams in badminton?
Well, based on my last tournament, which was Kenya International, we managed to get silver medal in the mixed doubles event with John Onyeke. So based on that and the preparations we've had, I'm really hoping to get onto the medal brackets in all my events, and that's my ladies singles, my mixed doubles, and my ladies doubles.
Well, we'll be watching and of course wishing you all the best. For Coach Odhiambo, the targets you've set for the team, are they achievable, and how do you intend to achieve them as you go out there?
Okay, now my targets, I can say 80% they are achievable. This is because now, I have ladies doubles, they are much experienced. Mixed doubles, they have good experience also. Men, we're not playing men doubles. Singles, men, they are okay. But it all depends on what will be happening on court. They have said before. I don't want my players to know who they are playing until they meet them, because, as I said, it affects the players psychologically. But once they are there on court, now anything can happen. Anything can happen, because you can never. The other opponents have also been training, as well. So now maybe my players might win the mixed doubles, ladies doubles, and probably ladies singles. I'm quite sure of those 3 events. I am.
Have you mentally and physically prepared the team for the targets that you've set in terms of guys, this is what we are looking at, and anything outside this without achieving that means that it might be a dismal performance? You earlier on mentioned that the officials want nothing short of results.
Yes, I have prepared them mentally. Because now the training time was so short, so the only thing we could do much was about psychology and some tactics. And maybe the few technical work of it, they are well prepared. These are, I'm telling you, the 3 events, I'm sure of maybe getting a gold, to the worst, probably silver.
as you target that, many ask and many wonder, and this goes to you, Mercy. Mercy, why badminton and not any other sport? Why not athletics? Why not volleyball, where Malkia strikers are at the top? Kenya Lionesses, as we speak, are in Madrid, Spain. Why badminton and not any other sports?
Well, I find badminton quite engaging, and that's both mentally and physically. And mentally, you really need to be present on court. You cannot play when you're off focus. And physically as well, this might surprise many, but we do the kind of physicals that probably the Lionesses do. Yes, even the rugby team, every other team, and then still add on to a specific badminton drills. So it's challenging for me, and I love it. I have a passion for it based on all that.
When you mentioned the physical, physical fitness, I totally agree, because looking at the two of you in that court, and you have to, move up and about, you don't know how the other player is playing, and you have to really be on your toes, clearly means that you have to be out there in terms of performance. But now, as you look at this, what is it that you would achieve? If you achieved in badminton, you'd say that finally now I can start looking at handing over the mantle to the young upcoming. Do you have a target as a badminton player that you'd want to achieve in life?
In badminton, for example, as I've said before, I'd love to see someone out there, hopefully me, in the Olympics. We've had a team before going to represent us in the World Championships some years back. So I'd really hope that that would happen again. And based on the years I've played badminton, the discipline I have to put in, the consistency, I mean, it's served generally to just show me in life I'm ready, in business, in my career, and my education as well.
Wow, well put there indeed. John, Uganda, what a country to go and start off our hunt for the Commonwealth Games, because Uganda have always been known to be perennial rivals of Kenya in whatever sport. In football, there were times when they used to say that they have Kenya's number. Anytime they want to beat Kenya, they just call. How does this go out for you, knowing that Uganda are our perennial rivals? Do you think we have what it takes to go and come back with the desired results that we need, that will set the tone?
Okay, now, long before, let's say like probably 3 years back, Uganda was a threat to us. But after some time, we do beat them comfortably. Where they normally beat us, probably on the junior side, only that area. But once we reach the senior, we are stronger. We are stronger than most of them in the Ugandans. We're okay.
Wishing you all the best. As we start winding up, Mercy, I'll give you your final moment to say a word. What message do you have for Kenyans now that you are the vice captain with John Wanyoike, who is not here with us? What message do you have for Kenyans on behalf of the team that will be leaving the country for the Uganda International Tournament?
To Kenyans, badminton is a sport that is actually played quite professionally in our country, and we would really love your support. We would also really thank the parents, for example, who've continuously supported us, and we also encourage other parents to let their children play badminton. You probably don't see us much, but we do exist, and we're going to make an even bigger impact in the near future.
Well, well said there. I like it when, a player also appreciates parents in terms of giving the opportunity to the young ones to also showcase their talent. Coach Odhiambo, your parting shot, as you now know that the success or the failures of the team always end up with the coach, who is taken as the captain of the ship then. What message would that be to Kenyans right now watching you as you get ready to go to Uganda for the Uganda International Tournament?
Okay, now I will tell the viewers that we need a lot of prayers. It doesn't matter whether we meet a weak player or a stronger player, because in badminton you can win maybe by winning that match, somebody getting injured, somebody being given a black card to be disqualified from that match. So there are many ways of winning in badminton. What we need more are prayers from our supporters. Then another thing now, again, still, this game is being played everywhere. It can be played with all walks of life. Now, if we can get parents and maybe other institutions to push their kids to go play the game, it will be very good. Okay, now let's take an example of the disabled. They are very good in badminton. Right now, they are the number ones in Africa. Now, and still, we also have the deaf, disabled people. They can as well play that badminton. And also, the Special Olympics, they can well still play it. So let's try and have the kind of unity, so that we bring up this game. Right now it's a bit more popular in the country, and we'd like it to be even popular than athletics or football.
Thank you very much, Coach John Odhiambo, who is the head coach of Team Kenya heading to Uganda for the Uganda International Tournament. Of course, flanked in studio by Mercy Mwethya, who is the assistant team captain of the team that's proceeding to Uganda. Thank you very much for making time to be with us. We appreciate, and we are wishing you all the best as you depart. You've mentioned a divine intervention. We ask, and we will also be seeking that divine intervention as you seek your points in terms of making it among the top 14 that will help you qualify for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Thank you very much, and we appreciate you making time, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Well, up next we go into the S, and this time round we are featuring Paul Gitau. Let's enjoy that. When we come back, we'll move straight into some other interesting stuff lined up for us as we also monitor what's happening locally and across the borders. Up next is the S featuring Paul Gitau.